Hey everyone, it's Ivan with kitbadger.com out here for another gear review, and today I'm talking about this guy right here, which is the ReadyPak Gear Stand by ReadyWorks Defense. Big picture, what is it? It is a gear stand that is packable. You can transport it and stuff, and it will hold all of your gear. So think about plate carrier, helmet, war belt, accessory gear, rifle, all of that stuff in one convenient location, easy to get to. Think maybe a ready room or even your bedroom should things go bump in the night, and yeah, access to your gear. The unit ships flat, 4 different pieces and associated hardware. Really simple to put together as well as take apart should you need to travel with it for deployment or something else. This thing actually goes together really easy. So you have 2 different kind of base pieces, which are your big pieces. This one with a slit right here drops down like such. And then we have these 2 pieces here. So the shorter piece, this guy right here with the logo facing out, ends up going right across this piece. I will say these are pre-production. Production ones, honestly, a little smoother, go together a tiny bit easier. But then you have this piece right here. It doesn't really matter which side, but it goes across the back side right here. Line up your holes, and you have these 2 guys, which go through. Make sure you're doing this ideally on level ground. So these will actually go through this upright piece and keep it in place. And then it screws through, grabs onto this piece, and holds everything secure. Then, if you want, there's this piece right here, which this is threaded on the front right here, and you can go ahead and screw this guy in. This is, it's optional, just like a lot of kind of different features on here if you want to use them. But this basically screws in the front and allows you to rest your rifle carbine up against it. So throw some gear on here. So rather than having a pile of gear just randomly stacked up on the floor somewhere or even stacked neatly, we can get everything set up right here. I usually start by throwing my plate carrier on there, and just so that it goes on easy and comes off easy, I'll basically end up doubling back my cummerbund, Velcro to itself, easy tabs, just grab it, bring it back around when I want to throw it on. This right here is the, I think, plate carrier 13 from Whiskey 24, and then the ammo hub A1 rather, by the Full 9, made by First Spear. Loaded with some mags. Throw that guy on there. And then kind of whatever else you want to do here. What I'll often do is war belt, bunch of loaded mags, stuff like that, pistol. Throw that guy on there. And then dealer's choice. Like, there's all kinds of different options as far as where you want to put stuff. If you're wearing a war belt, the inner belt, you can either leave it in there or you can throw it over on the offside. Same with Ear Pro, you can hook that stuff on there. And then on both sides, there's these little cuts, which are pretty handy. Like if you want to throw your gloves on there. So they are out of the way, but easy to grab. You want to throw those guys on. Then of course, take our helmet, throw that guy on up there. And there's this slot right here, which pretty much any piece of webbing you can put on there, whether it's a first aid kit, like something you want to just have access to, grab it and go, anything, like imagination, whatever you want. Right here, nods, so that basically if I don't want my nods on my helmet, I still have access to them right there. And then this hook down here, if you want, you can take your gun and basically throw that guy in there, and it'll keep it secure from falling over or just like laying on the ground somewhere. You can, of course, set this thing up however you want. Tons of different options as far as different places to stow gear, different ways you can use it, and yeah, just get this thing set up for your needs, whatever they may be. Right here, the unit's set up with some other gear. Again, totally customizable, totally dependent on what kind of gear you want to throw on there. Other thing that's pretty nice about this is, even though pretty small footprint, like not a giant base, it's honestly pretty stable. I don't know that I'd celebrate it, but like right here, hardly even terrain. But yeah, like pistol, loaded mags, war belt, put it on there. It's not just like, I'm off balance. And again, depending on like your setup, don't know that I'd celebrate it. But like right here, 3 mags across the front. If you have a plate carrier and for some unknown reason, you got like double stack, like 6 mags, and it's really heavy. I don't know why you do that. Maybe you've never tried laying in the prone like that. But if you have a plate carrier, like maybe the back's loaded with comms, whatever, and you take it, like you could probably get it to fall over. But generally, especially when it's actually on a flat surface, it's actually pretty sturdy. And really, whatever setup you want on here, you can absolutely do it. As I mentioned, usually I'll throw my plate carrier on first, depending what kind of belt, how you have it set up. You can also do that too. This right here is the core, like, I don't know, battle belt, gun belt, something like that. A couple loaded mags, med kits, stuff like that. And then something else just to be aware of is your plate carrier. So if you're the type of person that always leaves one side buckled, probably don't want to do that with this. You probably want to be able to break it in 2 pieces, drop it over the top. Right here, this is the Spiritus LV119-17, some odd number. And if you want, you can, of course, run your mags back here. If I do that, just let them hang when I drape this thing over. It's fine, not a big deal, like works, taking it on and off. But yeah, just to be aware, you can absolutely do that too if that's the kind of plate carrier you're running. Another thing worth mentioning, this is designed, manufactured here in the USA out of a HDPE, high density polyethylene, I believe it is. And so yeah, it's a fairly lightweight, but really durable and pretty much impervious to most things as far as solvents, gun cleaner, gun lube, any of those things. And if you come back from a mission, whether this is applicable to you or not, and you have a bunch of blood on your gear before you have a chance to like clean everything and you're worn out, because maybe you're out there for a long time, throw it on here, eventually go clean your gear, hopefully, after a good night's sleep. Hopefully that blood does not belong to you or one of your friends, but super easy cleanup. Like it's not going to end up stained and yeah, being a vector for some sort of pathogen. Real easy to clean up, Clorox wipes, like whatever it may be. And also with this material, something that's pretty cool is do whatever you want with it. I mean, it's really strong and sturdy, but at the same time, you can take a drill bit and be like, you know what I really need? Like, I need a hole here, and I'm gonna like mount whatever fixture there or something. Like, cool. Get a drill bit, drill a hole through there, like bolt something on, like customize it as much as you want, basically. Dimensions, stands about, I want to say like 43 inches high, about 22 inches wide, and weighs about 10 pounds. I think it's gear or load rated for over 200 pounds. Why you would put 200 pounds on this, I do not know. But overall, I think it's pretty solid. It is maybe expensive if you're like a DIY person. I want to say it's like 230, 240 bucks shipped. And is that expensive? Maybe, I don't know. If you're like, why don't I just put together some 2x4s? Go for it, man. Put together some 2x4s. I will say this is one, definitely customizable. A lot of features built into it and options for you to pretty much set your gear up however you want. Turnkey solution. And yeah, it's something you probably wouldn't mind displaying. I mean, honestly, a lot of people probably like to display their gear, if we're being real. So outside of a ready room, if you're like, man, I spent a lot of money on all this stuff, not only do I want to have access to it, but kind of want to show it off, even to yourself. That's valid. You do you at the end of the day. I think there is definitely value with respect to like a ready room, especially on the mill side. If you're deploying, all this stuff packs down flat, easy to take with you, and easy to continually have consistency. So your gear is set up the same way every day, all day for you to grab at a moment's notice, which, depending on what you're doing, can be pretty important. Or if you just want to display your stuff, you can, of course, do that too. But overall, I think it's pretty cool. There'll be a link down below. You can go check it out. And yeah, good way to store, organize, and keep your gear rather than just a pile on your floor. But if you appreciate my content and want to support it, greatly appreciate it. Whether it's liking and sharing videos or going over to Teespring, pick up some of my t-shirts, stuff like that there, or support me directly through Patreon. And if you have questions for me, happy to answer them over there. We have an active Discord. But as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.